Chill. Hey, what's happening? What up, though? What it do, folks? It's your homie CL, coming to you live on another edition of the Rundown South Podcast. Gotta know that. And I'd like to thank y'all for joining me, however you're joining me. Hopefully you came through from therundown.com. That's DA rundown.com. Gotta know that. And then you like this podcast, you can get it every time it come out. Shawty, you ain't gotta go look for that thing. It come right up to you. You know what I'm saying? Just pick up your phone and be like, oh, the Rundown South, new episode. Let me get that thing right there. So I know what I'm talking about all day, every day. So you know what I'm saying? It don't matter if you on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play. We all up in that thing, man. All your major players, we on them platforms. And as always, we coming to you live from ATL, Georgia. If you couldn't tell how I was talking, you know, that's how we talk around here. Well, that's how people talk around here. Let's just put it like that. But today, playing a little catch up. I got Keith Nelson Jr., another regular of the podcast, to come in and talk about some of these NBA storylines. Oh my God. It's so much going down right now. I can hardly keep up. And I know it's been about a month since I did a podcast, so I'll do a little bit of house cleaning, and then we'll get into the podcast. But one other note, I know at the beginning of the session, me and Keith were supposed to get into some talk about the Dreamville album and the documentary, but unfortunately we ran a little short on time. And of course, Keith, he's from New York. He likes to talk hoop. So we ran a little bit long on the NBA. Nothing wrong with that. Just know you'll probably be getting another podcast sometime during the week. More than likely, probably Friday if I can pull it together. But nonetheless, so like I said before, I've been gone for a month. And if you don't really care or whatever, you can skip ahead about a minute and a half and that'll get you right up to Keith. So yeah, for whatever reason, June, so my birthday is June 9th. I just turned 30. Happy birthday to me. And something is always going on that keeps me from making a podcast, whether it be some personal issues. Last year, my son got a little sick and I was in a hospital damn near every night for the month of June. You know, me and my son spent our birthdays in a hospital so we could celebrate with him. And this year, you know, I had a better reason for not having podcasts. So I had the pleasure of consulting on someone else's podcast. So I sat in on a few sessions, you know, asked a lot of questions, you know, did some research online on these guys and, you know, just like really cover my bases, and also putting together a plan about what they could do going forward to help the show grow. So it might turn into a regular gig. And so I'm not going to stop doing my podcast because I'm doing another one. It's not that big. It's not that big, but I will have to be more stringent about when this podcast comes out. So y'all just be on the lookout if I make any major announcements or where you guys need to go to support me and whatever else I might be doing. You know, just look out on all the Twitter feeds, Instagrams, Facebooks, and all them guys. I will let you know if anything comes of it. But I just wanted to get that out the way, just for anybody who cared and was wondering why I hadn't made any podcasts. So that's enough talking. I'm going to take my victory lap on calling Toronto, and here's Keith Nelson Jr. And as always, we coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. And today, I got to bring Keith Nelson Jr. back on the podcast. He is a regular. What's going on, Keith?
Yo, live from the A. My man. Home, the A, which is buzzing right now.
Yo,
hey. Buzzing right now. I mean, the A's always
buzzing. The A's always busting, bro. Hey, I literally just said this shit when I was fooling around on the podcast. Like, man, we really like Black Mecca right now of just culture in general.
Somebody, I think it was. Did you see the Tyler Perry speech?
No, I didn't.
My man was saying some deep shit on BC. Well, I didn't see the whole thing, but he was saying like he basically said, I say while y'all fighting for a seated table, I'm gonna go over here in Atlanta and make my own table. Like he literally was like, I own my shit. And he pretty much called Atlanta. I don't know the exact transcript, but he pretty much just calling it the Black Mecca where you can get shit done as a black man. I was like, in the facts fluid, but like that's a whole different topic. But shout out to Atlanta, heavy. Y'all big in the news right now. Pretty much for the having the soon to be or whenever this comes out, the #1 album in the world right now with Dreamville's Revenge of the Dreamers. You know, we're gonna get into that, but guys, congratulate y'all for that, man.
Oh, most definitely, man. So yeah, just to set up the podcast for today, we're going to talk on the front end about some of these NBA transactions that have taken place in the last 30 days. And then after that, we're going to get into this Dreamville album and the documentary that went along with it. You said you had some pretty interesting tidbits, so I'm kind of curious to see what you got to say about that.
Oh, I got some shit. I'm telling you, I got some things to say, but what's up with this NBA? What's going on with the NBA right now, man? We gotta make some proclamations real quick, man.
I guess for me, because I haven't done a podcast in about 3 weeks, some unfortunate incidents, and I do not have my regular laptop, so I even lost some of my in the vault episodes. I don't even have access to it. But yes, man, because remember we did one, and I told you I was gonna put out part 2 where we was talking some hip hop stuff.
Oh yeah,
bro, I can't even put that podcast out. I don't even have access to it. I'm so distraught. But
you're making another classic then.
You know, it might come out a little bit later in some of these dog days in July. But you know, last time I did the pod was like game 2, game 3 of the NBA Finals. And now it is July 9th, and the NBA world as a whole is completely different than it was 30 days ago. Like
completely.
It's crazy to just like wrap your mind around how many transactions, how many different things, permutations, moving parts. Just it's mind-boggling. And I guess we could start. Like, if we go back to, like, June 11th, that was the game 5, the day that Kevin Durant went down with an Achilles injury. And
that boy, it
created so much confusion about what was going to happen with Kevin Durant. Is he going to still go to the Knicks? Is he going to go to the Warriors? You know? And then at the same time, we were still trying to figure out, did Golden State have a chance to win a championship?
They won that game, yeah.
And then you go to game 6. Clay goes down, and
30 3/4.
And then Toronto somehow still pulls it off. You know, despite all the injuries, you still got to give them their credit. Kawhi gets his Finals MVP, brings the first ever championship to Toronto. We get so much Drake for about a week and a half. Like, bro, I love Drake. I love everything he does.
We got a lot of Drake.
We got a lot of Drake. After that stretch right there.
That whole playoffs was a lot of Drake. From the Embiid airplane thing, whole beef, it was a lot of Drake.
And it was all in good fun, of course. But
yeah. The massage, massage on the shoulders, all in good fun.
All in good fun. And it just shows that the NBA is a lot more in touch with their fan base than any other league that I can think of. So shout out to them for not putting the kibosh on the Drake antics and trying to make him go away. We just amplified. He's not quite on the level of Spike, but for his fame, he did a pretty good job.
And not only did they not put the kibosh on Drake, but then they banned. I think the Golden State Warriors banned that co-owner who pushed Kyle Lowry in the finals after he dived out of bounds, showing the most clearest signs of fucking white privilege to think that, I don't understand this is basketball, and I should not touch any. First of all, he didn't even dive on you.
Right.
Second of all, on the ticket it says, "Be aware."
There's a disclaimer on this.
Like, that's my whole. I always say it. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I always say that front row seats are the closest examples of seeing privilege in exercise. Meaning that if it's the axis of all axis, you're literally shoulder to shoulder with the players, but you forget you're shoulder to fucking shoulder with the players. You see access, I see liability, I see injury, but you don't see that. It's the veil of access, the veil of privilege, is that you think that, oh no, these players see this invisible barrier of privilege. They'll never break through that. Like, so then when it happens, it's like, it's like, what the, how did that happen? Right. I don't know. They're playing basketball.
And it's like, what entitles you to feel like you can touch anybody while they're working? You don't go to anybody's job and feel like, you know what, I can put hands on this person for whatever reason I feel like it. Like, try that shit at Hooters.
Touch the players.
Go ahead. Try it at Hooters. I dare you.
Oh my God. Man, try the library. Just try walk up to the library.
Right, try the librarian like that.
And just push her. Just push her like, She gonna either pull up on you, or she gonna call the security guard, who's usually like, a rent-a-cop, but he got some skill. He got some hand skills. They always have, the library always have people with hand skills, because there's other people in the hood who can't get at a job, so they just beat everybody up and shit. But that's for another day, another podcast.
That's a good observation.
But yeah, this finals was this was a great free agency.
So
and this is the rundown podcast. So I definitely want to get your opinion of this, and I'm gonna fall back for a little bit.
I'm about to say, I want to work up to that, because
work up to that, because it's the rundown podcast. I want to hear what you guys say about this, man.
Okay, but I do want to get your input as I go through. So 4 days after the season ends, June 17th, Anthony Davis is traded to the Lakers for half the team and the whole future.
The whole future. Like
nothing is left going forward. Like, if it's all about Anthony Davis and LeBron James right now, all your eggs are in a basket, and if you drop them, you're fucked. Like, point blank, period.
Your third and fourth best player was Kyle Kuzma and Alex Caruso for about 2 weeks. That was not a team yet.
No, not at all. And
not at all.
I mean, a whole clutch got everything that they wanted. LeBron got everything they wanted. A whole Space Jam turns out all well. I'm still.
But
go ahead.
But did you see? And I'm glad that this is going to be a classic podcast. You see how we went from that veil of privilege? There's also something else that privilege does. Is fan privilege. The Lakers, let's keep it $1.50. They ain't been shit. They ain't been shit for the vast majority of this decade. Like, the last time they were shit, Kobe still had a good Achilles. You know what I mean? That was the last time the Lakers was anything where you would say,
yeah,
they might do something. That was about 7 years ago. So, but then the minute they got LeBron last year, Lakers fans was like, this is it. It's a wrap. Bron, Lonzo, the young boys. I heard people saying that we might even make a run to the finals. I laughed a lot.
Oh no, I wasn't even going that far. Like, I saw probably like a 6 seed, 5 seed, just because it was LeBron and some young boys. But
bro, I'm never going to doubt LeBron James. Even if he was 75% healthy with a 75% healthy squad, never going to doubt he can make the playoffs in any era on any team. I will never doubt that. They got half a good squad that was playing for. Lonzo was gone. Honestly, and that's another discussion, because that boy's injury prone. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, it's starting to look that way.
Come on, man. Back-to-back seasons for the same thing? That sounds like early Curry to me.
It do, and man, it's crazy, because sometimes I feel like part of it is when you get the same injury twice. Like, are you injury prone or are you doing enough in injury preventiveness? And you think about the Phoenix Suns, Golden State, and some of the things that those organizations have done to keep players healthy. And you hear
the
about
Lakers don't seem like that. Yeah,
I'm not sure they are. And then you hear some of the horror stories about New Orleans and those guys having to use training staff from the Saints on these NBA players, and you like,
really?
Yeah, because they're owned by the same people. The Bensons own the Saints and the Pelicans because they basically like gave them the Pelicans, like, please, NBA was like, please take these off our hands. Like, we just cannot keep owning this team. It was like, all right, we'll keep it here, we'll keep it in New Orleans, whatever. Just here goes the money. We'll throw something on that. So like, yeah. So since then, I've heard some mixed reviews about the training staff and how they're able to treat things, and some of the things is why Anthony Davis seems to be stay getting injured so much. Is because they're not exactly adequate at that. So, they probably made some changes since then. But that is a concern with Lonzo going to New Orleans. It's like, is he going to be able to stay on the floor?
Him and B.I. I mean, Brandon Ingram, I mean, he had a rare vein injury.
Yeah, that was weird.
I was hoping is just like, that's not something that can't reoccur. But that team's going to have a lot to go with. But with the Lakers, the thing that I like, but then his thing was the fans, and I take it back to you with the fan privilege is that the minute they got Anthony, the minute the ink was dry, because we all knew Anthony Davis was going to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Once Magic Johnson was willing to give the whole team, and Dell Demps was just on the other line cracking up like, nah, nigga, I'm playing. And he just hung up at the trade. That's what I imagined every single day up until the trade deadline. It was like, oh, we'll add this. Okay, then we'll trade this. And then it was like a week before the trade deadline, and I see Magic Johnson offers a couple of draft picks, Lonzo, Kuzma, Ingram, and I'm thinking at the minute that I see the time pass and no deal goes, I've been thinking Dell Demps is on the phone with Magic like, yeah, we're gonna make that deal. Sorry, nigga, and he just hangs up.
Like fucking Big Boy on Chappelle's show. I'm on the move, bitch, with Don Cornelius playing tennis. Like.
No, but it was that whole thing, and we can't even get into the Magic Johnson circus after he got fired or after he left.
Goodness. I couldn't get on the pod fast enough.
I mean, I can't. I would take too much on that, but he's an interesting guy. But the fan privilege of thinking that we got LeBron and we got AD, it's a wrap. I heard people saying, we don't need a team. Just get a couple of, vet. I'm like, and you know what? I had fans that were like, it's over. I'm like, damn.
For real?
I started to drink a little of the Kool-Aid because I started to look at the landscape like, well, KD's hurt. And this is when KD left. KD's hurt. Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna be this season, no matter where he's at, he's not gonna be a factor on the NBA season. Kawhi, I don't know where he's going. All these, and the Warriors are decimated. So I'm thinking, and nobody had got better yet. I mean, the Jazz got better, and the Nuggets were still there. But I was saying the Nuggets were going to win it. I still thought that, and I still think that to this day that the Nuggets got the most stacked team that is ready to make a serious deep. They got 2015 Warriors vibes to me right now. So when I saw that, I was like, all right, they're going to have problems. And then. And I gotta go to this next, man. The fans, the privilege that they had as Lakers fans who have been used to winning and thinking that everything is owed to them, and thinking that we're gonna get this because we're in LA. Guess who else is in LA?
Hold on, we gonna get to that. Because right now it's currently because I like what you said. Because if we go back in the time machine to June 17th. You was feeling real good as a Laker fan. You're like, we got Anthony Davis. What's the next shoe that's going to drop? LeBron's going to do a big three. We know somebody's coming. So, like, everybody was just like, all right, that's how we doing. All right, we're just going to wait 2 more weeks.
Boom.
And we gonna be there.
Hey, look.
Hold on. Shit. We try not to die on the podcast.
Nah, I'm down the podcast, bro. This is gonna be. I'm gonna be a fucking character witness, and I don't want that at all. At all. I don't need that Atlanta stress on my ass.
All right, man. I'm good now. So yeah, like I was saying, everybody in Lakerland feeling real good. You know, squad coming together. You know, we ain't got the rest of the team, but whatever. We got somebody else coming. So in that trade, New Orleans did get the number 4 pick from the Lakers, which probably was the thing that put the trade over and made them want to commit to it is once they got that number 4 pick. So June 21st comes. Zion is drafted, number 1 to New Orleans. There are a bevy of other trades made, including the Hawks who get involved with New Orleans.
Ooh,
and they end up with Cam Reddish and a couple other guys. I'm not even going to get into that. I'm going to save that for a Hawks podcast. If y'all want to get deep dive into some
Cam
draft
Reddish
stuff.
is a baller. Cam Reddish is a baller.
I fool with him. So, like, that's why I mentioned him. He wasn't even the first pick that they made, but I don't even have all my draft notes out. So, you can criticize me all you want for not being prepared for the podcast, but this ain't that podcast.
It's too much going on.
It's just too much,
man. It's too much going on.
So we just gonna skim over that real quick. You know, hopefully your favorite team got who they were supposed to get. New Orleans looks like a completely different new team after that draft with nothing but young guys all over the place. Yeah, that has that team a lot. That really feels like it could be a playoff team, but it's not. It's like it's still like a year off. I just can't believe that all them young guys would come together that fast.
It literally depends on what Zion do you get. Do you get Zion off, he's a really good rookie, double-double, or do you get Zion, he's going to have a LeBron rookie year of 23 and 7 and shit? Like is he going to be an MVP candidate or MVP adjacent?
Yeah.
Like, just right under it. You know what I mean? Because if he's that, then if Zion is anything like that and they get the Lonzo Ball that people want to get, this team is going to be scary. Because you got a walking triple-double with a dude who demands a double team in the paint. You know what I mean? If he's who he is. But that's, like I said, we can get into that all day.
Yeah, that's a lot of untapped potential.
That's a lot. A lot happened in the last 30 days.
Yes. So, like, we're just at the 21st. So now we're going to go up to last week. So June 26th through 28th. All the free agent rumors flying around all over the place. The Lakers ended up clearing some cap space. They traded away a few guys. So it's really looking like they're making room for a third superstar. Kyrie and Al Horford tell Boston they're not coming back. Kemba's looking like it's going to be Celtics or bust. And then, of course, June 30th / July 1st. And everything starts becoming official. Going into, like, June 2nd, June 3rd. We get the Heat trading for Jimmy Butler. We get Murray signing that extension with the Nuggets. So he wasn't going anywhere. I didn't think he was going anywhere. We get official word that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to Brooklyn.
Without, and let's not harp on this too much, but we have to harp on this. It just came out today. Today, we found out that the GM, not some rumor, not some sham or some Twitter dude, or Woj, but shout out to Woj, because them Woj balls are classic.
Woj's going to be hitting. Yeah.
Man, he be hitting. But the GM of the Nets said on record, Kevin Durant signed with us without meeting or talking with us. This man signed to the Brooklyn Nets from the greatest dynasty we've seen in 20 years. I'm putting them over the shot. I don't care if they three-peated. I'm putting them over the Kobe and Shaq Lakers. I'll debate that.
We're not even gonna get into that right now.
Yeah, we ain't getting that right now. But the greatest dynasty in 20 years. He's leaving that to go to the Nets simply and solely to play with Kyrie Irving. He didn't even talk to the Nets. He didn't talk to, and this is, and that's both a sad move to me. And I love Kevin Durant. I'm the one of the people who've been like, him going to Golden State was not a punk move. It was a move to ensure dominance and legacy. Too many times players have fucked up their legacy for quote unquote doing it the right way. Yeah. I want to stay with Russell Westbrook and keep losing. Because you know what? We'll figure it out. While everybody else is making these amazing teams, I'm going to do it the right way and just, I don't know, score 55 instead of scoring 45. How about that? No, it's not. You weren't going to beat the Warriors at all. We have 3-2. What you mean have 3-1? And then what happened? People say they have at 3-1 and they could have next year. Do you know what losing 0-3 really means? It means you shouldn't have been up 3-1. That's what losing 0-3 means.
Yeah.
When you lose, and that goes for the Warriors against the Cavs too. I put that up there too. Even though I think the circumstances were very different with that, because Harrison Barnes made 5 shots in the last 3 games. Not 5 shots each. He made 5 or 6 total shots the last 3 games of that series.
Yeah, that shit was sick.
That's a whole different thing. But he left all of that. I think it's a sad move because it's like, yo, you went there just to follow Kyrie? You think he's that nice? You think he's that nice that you're like, all right, we can do this shit.
Okay.
And then second, it's kind of a baller move because it's like, you dead ass didn't even meet or talk with the team and just pulled up and said, give me the max. And they was like, bet.
Contract. You gotta give me the max. Shout out.
What else we talking about right now? Like, he literally had no meeting with them. He probably just saw Kyrie sign, called him like, yo, I want the max, and just hung up the phone. And he just looked on. Actually, I think the GM said he didn't know he was coming to the Nets until he saw it on Instagram, which means there was no deal on the table. He just put it on IG, I'm going to the Nets. And the GM was like, I guess he's going to the Nets.
Yo, I need to check that out. I missed that.
Yo, keep going, man. I'm gonna find it. But you go on about what happened.
Okay, so now, because I want to hit on a couple things, because I think there's 2 details that's important for Kevin Durant going to the Nets. Now, I know Kyrie said he wanted to quote unquote go home, whatever that means. I'm like, nigga, you grew up in Australia too. Like, you can say you're going back home then, but I'm not gonna get into that. Like, this going home thing, it sounds cute on the marketing.
It sounds cute. I like how they sound. I like how was he showing the Nets? They randomly found for the first time ever some like him holding a Nets jersey. Like, it's like Pops.
Yes.
Pops. Find that picture from that one day I had that Nets jersey. Just so they see it.
Right.
Like, what, dude?
But, you know, we gonna let Kyrie have that. Kyrie is a little different, and, you know, Jay Williams, you know, casually threw out Illuminati is why his Instagram doesn't make any sense. And I'm, you know, I wanted some of the new Kyries, but I can't fuck with the eye on the back. I don't want that shit. I don't know.
Let me tell you, GM Sean Marks of the Brooklyn Nets says Kevin Durant announced commitments in Nets before meeting with the team. Kevin Durant announced on Instagram that he was going to join the Brooklyn Nets before he told the Brooklyn Nets, I'm going to join the Brooklyn Nets.
And you know what? I totally 100% believe it because of 2 details. One involves DeAndre Jordan. And 2, it was known that Kevin Durant wanted to be in New York. So there was only 2 teams to go to. It's either Brooklyn or the Knicks. So everybody had their eyes set on the Knicks because It's MSG. It's the,
Yeah,
you know,
MSG.
it's the Mecca. You know, we
And
gonna
also,
do.
but not only that, there was no Kyrie. Like
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing. It had like New York is cool and all of that. I think he did want to go to New York because he moved his businesses down there. I think he liked playing in New York. But I don't think the Knicks fans, we thought he was coming because we thought we was going to get Kyrie. We thought we were going to get Zion too.
Yeah.
When that didn't happen, because we got Zion, everything changes. I think KD might think about coming to New York on the Knicks, or Kyrie might think about it, and then KD comes too. If we got the perfect storm was we get Zion first pick, Kyrie signs, and KD signs. We didn't get the first pick, so we didn't get Zion. But I think it all meant for KD. All of these moves, all of these big gigantic moves, a lot of these big gigantic moves were domino pieces. It was like I'm gonna come when you come. A lot of these things got announced like an hour or a day later.
Right.
That's really what was the most trippy thing about the free agency was how calculated. Like NFL players could never pull this off.
They could
never pull this off.
There's too much.
They join teams by surprise. Oh, whoa! We're the same team now.
Yeah.
Battle players over here being like planning out when they're gonna do a dual announcement. Like, all right, you go first, then I'm gonna go. Like, so it's like I think once Kyrie announced, if Kyrie didn't go to the Nets, he wasn't gonna be. KD wasn't going to the Nets.
Now I'm gonna give you another thing. So I said there was another detail, and that was DeAndre Jordan. Now we saw that DeAndre Jordan got a nice little deal, it required KD and Kyrie to leave money on the table to sign DeAndre Jordan. Why the hell would they do that for DeAndre Jordan? Now, most people are referencing the Team USA, which all three of them were on. So that's definitely a factor. But who did DeAndre Jordan play for last year?
The Knicks.
He played for the Knicks.
I forgot that.
So I've heard this conspiracy thrown out there. This is not an original. I'm not even going to take credit for it. There's got it by way of a Twitter /Reddit user by way of Bill Simmons, but just got to give credit where it's due.
Shut up.
So it is the conspiracy that DeAndre Jordan was basically a mole inside the Knicks, letting KD know exactly what was going on and how things were operating with the Knicks. And from that evaluation, Kevin Durant was like, I'm not going to the Knicks, but I'm still going to New York. And he went to Brooklyn. And DeAndre Jordan got to come too.
Here's my thing. That theory has legs only if it is contingent on this one fact.
Okay.
Was it a premeditated move or was it a after the fact move? Was it like, oh, join the Knicks and spy on them? Or was it like, oh, yo, DeAndre, you on the Knicks? Yo, keep your ears open. If it's a premeditated one, this is absolutely ridiculous.
Nah.
If it's a premeditated one.
If it's an
after the fact one, then that makes total sense.
It's definitely after the fact because DeAndre Jordan got traded from Dallas. You know, he was on Dallas at the beginning of the year, and he ended up getting traded to the Knicks. So, of course, DeAndre didn't have any control over that. He doesn't have no trade clause or anything like that. So, I think Kevin Durant saw that and was like, bro, let me know how things is really working there. And I think that's how we got real close to like, well, you know, he's thinking about going to the Knicks because DeAndre Jordan right there. Letting it be known we're talking about it.
And I think if DeAndre, and I mean the Knicks had a bad season. Not only did they have a bad season, they had a really big, a really bad falling out with Porzingis. All of this stuff was like the Porzingis last year is one of the saddest years of like my whole Knicks.
But why? Why did they? I still don't understand why they traded him.
We can't get into that right now.
I don't understand that deal. Like that shit makes no fucking sense, bro.
No sense. But yo, hold on, wait. The Nets and KD definitely shifted the balance, and that was definitely cool. I'm sorry, CL. I cannot wait no longer.
All right, man. We in the week. We in the week, man.
We gotta talk about the man. We gotta talk about the new character.
Because like at this, because like even on July 2nd, we were still waiting on the Kawhi shoe to drop, and exactly what that was going to mean for the rest of the league, because we now have one, super team in the making in LA. Golden State's not the same.
They got D-Lo. No, wait. They got
D-Lo. They did get like we did. Skim over there. They did get D'Angelo Russell.
They get D'Angelo, which is huge.
Like, it is, but honestly, they're not the same.
They're not the same, but they replaced Klay Thompson with D'Angelo Russell. That's pretty great.
And there still talks about him just being a trade chip, like if things just don't work out.
And that's why if it's brilliant. You bring him in, you make sure you maintain the same balance of or similar. Like, you're not going to get Klay, but you're going to get, at least you're not going to be losing certain games you should be winning. You know what I mean? So you get that same balance where you'll still be able to be 20-10 or something like that. You be well over 500. Klay comes back, mate. Klay comes back. You see if it works out. If it works out, you just made another big three. If it doesn't work out, you can trade a dude who would start on almost any team. So that means you can get almost anything you want. Like, you trade D'Angelo Russell to, I don't know, who's out there.
He could go anywhere.
You might be able to get, fuck it. You trade D'Angelo Russell, you might be able to get the Mavericks to give a Luka. I don't know.
Hell nah. Fuck no.
D'Angelo in a pick or something?
Luka is the future. Like,
Luka's the future, but let him not. All I'm saying, he's the future. But all I'm saying is, these guys in this NBA, if D'Angelo Russell balls out, and you can see that you're on a team with Porzingis who's right almost there, and you can almost see that Luka. Maybe not Luka. That was a bad decision.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the worse it makes sense at all. I'm sorry about that, but yes, that was a great pickup by them. But yes, it's July 2nd, and everybody's just like, it feels like everybody's settled in, but nobody dug into the Thanksgiving dinner. It's like everybody sat down, so we all chilling, like we all know that what's to come, but nobody's dug in and started to piece things off yet. Everything is still, we have some appetizers. You have a little bit of stuff in.
Right. So all that went down. Like, I'm like, that's TBD to see what's gonna happen with D-Lo up in Golden State, but they are different. The makeup is different. The whole
very different
league is different. We still looking at Milwaukee. They lost a piece.
They let go of Sean Livingston.
Well, we kind of knew that was coming eventually. Like, he was coming
was
to the end. He was there. Yo,
I love him, but this last finals, man, I did not see him decline that. He went from being like this motherfucker is good from a pulling up from that fucking runner pull up from like just under the foul line.
Yep.
Like that pull up.
That shit was deadly.
Untouchable, undefeated on any fast break in the 2017 or the 2016 finals. This last finals, I saw my man miss a couple of bunny hooks on Kyle Lowry. Nothing against Kyle Lowry, but then at a certain point it becomes just, height.
Yeah, man. Sean Livingston might have a big three MVP in his future, real soon.
Oh no, yeah. It's gonna be him and Joe Johnson gonna conspire to make. There's gonna be big three conspiracies. Like, yo, bro, leave the NBA. Let's form the biggest big three in the big three.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
that shit gonna be.
It's gonna be Sean Livingston, Joe Johnson, and DeMarcus Cousins, and they're gonna destroy the fucking big three.
That shit ain't gonna be fair, bro. Like, you say that shit out loud, but
yo, Chris Bosh gonna come back like, I'm gonna bust these niggas ass real quick.
Right. Real talk, bro. He slick could still, man. But let's get back on track. So the whole landscape, every corner of the NBA has been touched And then over this last weekend, Kawhi says, I'm going to LA, but I'm going to the Clippers. And you know what?
Clippers.
Paul George is coming with me.
What?
Like, bro, I woke up with that alert, and like I just kept shaking my head. Like I was like, I ain't had no words. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
That move made me realize the real reason why this offseason is going to be remembered by everybody so much, and why people were so connected to it. It's not just because the big things were happening. It's because our wildest dreams happened and then some. This has been the same kind of anticipation for the last 3 years, but usually, I mean, you usually get one, like you get LeBron going to the Lakers, but you get Paul George staying in OKC. You get everybody just, oh yeah, I'm staying here. Oh, Kawhi's going to Toronto. What? Okay, like nothing that was like super. Like that's a big move to me. But then people was being like, is he still Kawhi? So you don't get these tectonic shifts. You didn't get the. I wonder if Kevin Durant leaves the Warriors. No, he resigns. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right, I guess. You know what I mean? Like there was the same anticipation. It's just that this was the first one in a long time where everything you thought could happen happened, and then some. Yeah, yes. Kawhi and Paul George is the and then some. Paul George is the and then some, because we have to now. Let me just real quick. Yeah, let me compose myself because I got to give this man his proper respect.
You talking about Kawhi?
I need to give Kawhi his proper respect because
please do.
Kawhi Leonard, I was a fan, of course. I loved your game. I loved his game. Great player. At no point in time I put Kawhi Leonard in the top 3. Sometimes I didn't put Kawhi Leonard in the top 5. I had other guys in the top 5. He was like 6 or 7. I know what he could do. He's a baller. He's a two-way player. And his man could ball. What this man did in these playoffs, brushed through the Magic like they were children. Took the heart out of the Sixers with literally the greatest playoff shot, at least. If you're not going to give it,
I don't think Hart, bro. That was so deep with that shot, bro. like them niggas was crying, man. Like,
bro, Embiid burst into tears the minute the ball hit the net, because the reason why it hurt so much was because you didn't think a game that intense was going to end on something so delicate as a couple of bounces. Like these guys were going hard to the paint, pull-ups, everything, giving it all, and the game ended with you just standing there and you're powerless. You can't do shit. You gotta hope that gravity is on your side. And it was on his 99.9% of the times. Where does that ball go, CL? That shit is that shit bounces somewhere to the right, bounces to the left. If you look at that replay, I'm not gonna say God touched it, because I think it's very vain to think that God cares about basketball games. However, if you look at that after that first or second bounce, when you think it's gonna turn clockwise, counterclockwise, something like that, and go to the right, and then it just turns clockwise. It just like turned. The minute it turned clockwise, that's when shit got scary. Because once it turned clockwise, it went inward, bounce, splash. But back to Kawhi Leonard, he did that. Game 7, which could be, if not the greatest playoff shot, at very least the greatest shot of Toronto Raptors history, bar none, not even close. Then you go down 0-2 to the Bucks, and what do? You down 0-2 to the Bucks, the number 1 team. People like Paul Pierce, who you should never believe, calling you out. And throughout the whole playoffs, what was you doing? 28-9, what?
Hey,
35-10, what? Huh? 27 what? And then what do you do for the next 4 games? You ball out and you hold Giannis when you guard him. You hold him to, I think it was 25 or 30% from the field, because all they did was do what he learned from Pop. Oh, can LeBron shoot? Show me. That was the defense. Can you shoot? Show me. That was it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, man. And
that was the defense for about 10 years of LeBron, about 8 or 9 years of LeBron's career. In the fourth quarter, it was like, all right, bro, you've been driving all night. I know you're superhuman, bro, but you're banged up a little bit. So tell me, can you shoot? And it would be, and most of the time, it would be, not really. You know what I mean? And Giannis, all the time, it was, hell no. It was, hell no. I cannot make no jump shot. And that's what happened. And then, even though the Warriors were decimated, they had injuries. Now, and even though when Kevin Durant came, and this is what, and let me just say this for a quick second for people who thinking that Kevin Durant isn't going to come back to the Nets after Achilles and still ball out. Kevin Durant went, after a month of not playing basketball, went onto the court away in a must-win game in Toronto against the Raptors and did the following. I can't drive to the hole because of my leg. Give me the ball. Kawhi's on me. Damn, what do I do? Pull up. Whap. All right, next play. Give me the ball. Oh, who's on me? Kawhi behind me. Marcus on me, top of the key. Oh, shit, what am I do? Pull up. Whap.
Yeah, all day, every day. Easy money sniper.
He scored 12 points in 11 minutes on 1.5 legs against the best team in the NBA. And with Kawhi Leonard on him for most of it. Embarrassing. He was on pace for a 50-burger in his first game back in a month, and people think that he's going to come back after Achilles, or I don't know if he's going to. My dude was. He didn't have shit.
Bruh, like, yeah, he was going plumb off, man. There's no doubt about it. Like, I'm right there with you. Kevin Durant is definitely going to be. Go ahead.
But to end it off, because I don't want to take up too much of time, as like I said, this is the Rundown podcast. But my man, I was already impressed by that. I was super impressed by that, and I like how he embraced social media a little bit with the laugh and the what it do, baby. I loved it. It was like an organic rise of the next coming. He was officially, to me, one of the top 3 players, and one of those players that he's earned the right to not have an elite season and still remain in that top 3. Sort of like how, Curry and them sometimes don't have like an elite season, but they stay in there because they've done it enough and they don't fall too far down from the median.
It's expected.
So like he's earned that now. He's earned enough of that. But what he did behind the fucking scenes, we thought he was quiet because he ain't had a personality, bro. We thought he was quiet because he don't smile, he don't laugh. My man's quiet because he's plotting. He's quiet because he's planning. I have never, and you tell me if you've ever seen this, I have never in my life seen, forget just an NBA player, but you could add this to the fact, I've never seen a celebrity of this magnitude been able to arrange for another celebrity of similar magnitude to do something that was so under the radar that not only did the media not know it was happening, they didn't even think about Paul George. Like that wasn't even like there wasn't even a fake rumble. There wasn't even like fake. There wasn't even Twitter bots making fake news up that says Michael Jordan's going to be traded for Jesus. Like there wasn't even those fake rumors. You know what I mean? There wasn't even that. And there wasn't even anything about. They were saying that the Clippers were out.
Yo, Chris Broussard with your fucking making up shit ass, bro.
Yeah, but not the respectable ones. Not the respectable ones. Woj and them never said.
Nah, bro. They always left out. But Chris Broussard over there leading sheep in the water, man.
Bro, Kawhi Leonard is the first NBA player in the history of the NBA to Beyonce the free agency market.
That's a good little term right there.
You don't know when he going to drop until he drops. You might get rumblings that something's coming out. He's joining some team. it's probably going to be the Lakers or it's going to be the Raptors. You might think you have an idea, but then he flips it on your ass and just drops saying, nah, I'm going over here, and I'm bringing Paul George. Bro, that was devious. That was maniacal. That was so... you can never look at Kawhi Leonard the same way again.
No, you can't, man.
You can never look at Kawhi Leonard because not only that, we didn't know that he was talking to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Right. That was some
what the fuck?
super stealth, super like we're talking on a secured line. Like you need to dial this number to dial me, and then dial this other number in. Like nobody's getting a hint of this. But I mean, did you have anything else you want to say? Because I got a few things I wanted to bounce off you with this Kawhi. Because like you said some interesting stuff in that diatribe. You took it back to like the whole playoff journey and how we got here. And I know one thing you made me think of when the ball was up there and it was just sitting. It just I envisioned like Kadeem Hardison just like tipping the ball in. And for those of you who are too young, go watch 6 Man. It's a pretty funny movie, even though it doesn't really get a lot of run right now. You know what? Now that I said that, I could see somebody remaking that movie right now. It wasn't that bad.
Nah,
it could be a nice little like Netflix remake with their modest budgets because they just fucking do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that I noticed right in that moment when he did make that shot over the Sixers was the fact that he got that shot to go in because he went to his spot for one. So that's almost like you're putting the odds more in your favor to make the shot because that's where you like to shoot from. And the reason why that point is so important is because that's pretty much the mentality that Kawhi takes in everything else. It's like, true. I'm working on where does my big percentages and what's the best way to work this out. It's a few things we learned about Kawhi, some fake and some real, like the Apple Time thing. I wish it was true. It sounds like a good Kawhi story, but it wasn't. Just the whole being born thing, it just fit real good. The Nike taking the claw logo and fighting him over it, saying that he drew that with his hand. Let me find out Kawhi is like some graphic artist on the low. And he'd be doing like logos for people and shit. That would be something else. But the fact that he was ready to go toe to toe in a courtroom over Nike just lets you know, like, bro, I don't take no shit.
Against Nike,
bro.
He's going against Nike and he's repping New Balance. Kawhi is just different.
He fucking different, man. and like just all the way up into the Clippers thing, because there's a few rumors around the Clippers as far as like where they're going to be next. Could they fuck around, go back to San Diego? Could they go to Seattle? Ballmer got all this money, and I think the fact that Jerry West is there, Doc Rivers is there, Ballman is there. Like the business end of the Clippers is so strong that I think that may have been the overwhelming factor that made Kawhi Leonard go with the Clippers over the Lakers. Because when you set the Lakers organization next to the Clippers, it's like night and day.
And I'm glad you said that because now we can dedicate some time to why that is. Because he doesn't want his basketball operations dude to come out on fucking First Take and accuse somebody on the Lakers executives on national television that he's a backstabber. And then days before that, be like,
I'm talking about
I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be here. Making a joke of it, bro. I've never seen somebody say I'm leaving a job so jokingly. Like, yo, do you not understand? Like, you're not leaving like a TV show. You're leaving the head of basketball at the Los Angeles. What the? Kawhi. So I guarantee you, a lot of free agents. Because think about it, the biggest free agent that he had was somebody, and not saying that getting AD wasn't a big thing, but AD pretty much put himself in a box.
Right.
Where there's nothing the Lakers could have done. The Lakers could have they could have supported like Donald Trump, and he would have been like, you know what, man, that's politics and this is basketball. Because he put himself in such a box trying to get to the Lakers.
Yep.
That there's nothing that they would have did where he would be like, I don't want to go anymore. He was there. Like that, and that's why it was so good for them, that he was there. But what that also means, to a certain extent, and maybe you can call this Laker hating, but I don't think it is. It also not invalidates the move in terms of trying to say the free agents going to work there. It kind of obfuscates the rule because it makes you think that, oh yeah, free agents going to be there, but given context is like he was already going to go before this fucking train wreck happened. He was already like this dude. He showed that I'm not going to play because I want to play for the Lakers. Trade me. I want to go to the Lakers. It wasn't no like I'm listening to the. It's not like I'm listening to the Celtics. Maybe no. I want to go to the Lakers. So he was going to go to the Lakers.
Crazy. And he really did box himself in. And my thing with the Laker trade was really, like what really was the rush? Like, I know looking back now that they don't have another superstar to go along with it, and it's probably not going to look the same going forward. But AD was going to be a free agent next year. Now, you could have just waited it out, but nobody wants to let another LeBron season go to waste because he's in the end of his prime, if not already like on a down slope, which I'm just scared to say when it's actually going to be. But we're not seeing 2010 LeBron. We're not seeing 2014 LeBron. It's 2019. So I will safely say that LeBron's not the same player today. And they did not want to let that go out the window. But
he had 28. He was averaging crazy.
I mean, statistically, yes, he's the same guy. But before, there was a lot more intensity on defense in his younger years than there was now. And I can tell.
I'll admit that. But I think, but here's my thing. I think what's happening is, and this is for people who grew up watching Jordan, Jordan stopped being he stopped driving to the hole as much, and his defense, while it didn't like fall off to being like pedestrian, same way how LeBron is falling off, it did become a lot more reactionary, a lot more help defense, a lot more trapping. You know what I mean? Well, not much help defense, but it was still, it became a lot more being like right spots rather than just I'm just gonna smother you.
Yeah.
And so like you got to give him that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get that, but like I want to get back to the Lakers as an organization. And that's kind of how we got there in the first place. Just talking about the Lakers. Like, there's so much to talk about with them. Like, you just say the name. What do you want to talk about? Fill in the blank. But the thing I was trying to get at was like, the Lakers is a family-owned business versus the Clippers being owned by a billionaire, which the Clippers is like a side project. This is like something he do for fun.
No. But this is I think that is. And I'll just say that, but I think that might be. I have a theory about that. I think that might be a little bit different because I think these billionaires are starting to see that these NBA teams are at one day going to be worth probably what I'm worth.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Well, not so. Or worth what my other businesses are worth. I mean, of course, he owns. I think he owns part of Microsoft, so he's a super billionaire. Like this dude,
right. He's on another fucking level. Like. Playing $2 billion for this team didn't really hurt him at all. He wasn't. There was no loans needed. He didn't have to get equity to get his team, bro. Like he just bought it cash.
He said, "You want to put up with the pink bag, or do you want to wire it, my guy?"
Right. How you want it?
How do you send $2 billion?
I don't know, bro. You just made me think about this shit.
like, is it like? Do you break it up within like installments? or is it just like, or does the NBA open up their like their banking app and all of a sudden they have
All right, I got it. Like what the NBA Cash App look like? Goddamn.
The Cash App go, yo. We did that. We did that. You know, we made sure it was easy and smooth. You know for a fact one of these apps are like, yo, all we gotta do is make the perfect system, and we can be a transaction between teams and players. One of these apps want to be that. It's probably gonna be Google or somebody, but somebody wants to make it so that it's so easy to pay players. It's basically just through. Just
like, bro. I'm about to say, bro, they probably got that shit, and we just don't have access to none of that because they probably don't even put that shit in the app store. You have to download that app from the company server. Like that shit is a direct. I'm sure that they got that shit, man, and somebody's banking off that.
They would not keep that secret. If Google made something that helped the NBA pay players, they'd be like, "Hey guys, we help the NBA play." like that shit would, because that would just boost their stock.
Right.
Their stock would go through the fucking roof.
It's probably like some financial company with that shit. I mean, it's too many VC guys in the NBA for them not to have some shit like that.
Oh yeah, but, it's probably certain. It's probably certain teams that are doing that.
Yeah.
So the Warriors probably like pay Steph Curry in Bitcoin instead of that.
That would be some shit, bro. But yeah, man. The thing about like looking at just the Lakers as an organization, like they just been hell. They just been all over the place the last few years. Nothing really been consistent as far as the messaging, the way you're going about things, the basketball intelligence. Nothing seems to be on point in their column, except for the fact that they have LeBron. And just because we've been talking about Kawhi, what makes you feel like he wants to be anywhere around fucking LeBron on a daily basis? Like, there's nothing there.
Can you talk about the fact that both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in back-to-back years didn't want LeBron James?
Nah, bro. Like, because the secret is out. After the big three, that was like, well, we're going to try this out. And then he goes to Cleveland and does the same thing. And you hear some of those things. You got enough research to tell you how it is to play with LeBron in this phase of his career. And I don't think everybody wants to do that.
Yeah, I think the reason why players, because of course, nobody is saying that people don't want to play with LeBron. They don't want to be on a team with LeBron. That's a big difference. Of course, when you say you want to play with LeBron, yeah, I would love to play with LeBron.
Yeah, on court.
God, I do everything. Do I want to be on a team with him where I'll get less of the credit, no matter who you are? If you win a ring with LeBron, that's LeBron's ring, and you helped.
Mm-hmm.
No matter who you are. Of course, Wade. I'm not saying people diminish Wade's ring, but they always say that whenever it's something about winning rings, they always say LeBron won those rings. You know what I mean? That's how the vision is. It's not like the Heat won the rings. It's, LeBron won. We're talking about his legacy. We're not talking about, Dwayne Wade won 3 rings. It's like it's a different kind of conversation.
Right.
But you also get incredible blame because LeBron will get shielded. Because here's the thing about LeBron is that of course, he gets shit from foes and people online who always hold him to a crazy high standard, what they shouldn't. And I participated in that at times, and I have tried to dial it back. But LeBron's a great player, and I expect greatness. But guess what? LeBron doesn't really get hated. Like when his teams lose, it's always, well, he needs help.
Yeah.
Or look who he had. Of course he lost. He had no Kyrie and no Love, which I get. Yes, of course he lost. He's facing the Kevin Durant and the Warriors. That's cheating. I get it. He didn't have the right team. It's not his fault. I'm not, and the numbers prove that too. It's not his fault. I'm not saying that. But at some point, he can't just say that it's not his fault that he didn't win these titles. But then when he does win those titles,
it's all him.
Against the Warriors, the most unlikely title of like a long time. It's like it bolsters his legacy. He literally said, after I won that title, I told myself I'm the GOAT. LeBron James said that on the record.
He said that like into a camera.
Into the camera.
And let everybody know I'm the GOAT.
After that one ring, because they said that they were saying, and the reason why he did it was because of how the public perception was of the Warriors. They were saying they're the greatest team ever.
And you know what, bro? I kind of agree with him when he said that shit.
And you know what's crazy is that I do think it put it depth to me. What it did was it restarted a conversation that I think was fading away. I think that he was still holding on to, he's going to probably go down as the greatest player. He might pass Jordan, but you got to start winning some more, right? Like, it's not all about rings, but two, was he going to do it? I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if you don't. I don't care if you're like, well, Bill Russell had 10. There was no way you was going to say that Michael Jordan, that LeBron James had a better career than Michael Jordan if he had 2 rings right now. Like, and it was 2 rings on a big 3. Like,
right.
And like one against Kevin Durant, one against the Asian Spurs. Like, there was no way you can make a narrative for everything. There was there's never a perfect narrative.
I'm about to say, Warriors, bro, you can't. You know what? You can't even call them the Asian Spurs because they came back and won the fucking championship the next year. So they wasn't that fucking old.
Oh, that's cool.
And you know who's on that team? Who won that MVP?
Young Kawhi.
Young Kawhi. This motherfucker ended the Heat and the Warriors.
My God.
And took LeBron's chances out at a big 3 with him and Paul George. Like, bruh, how much does LeBron fucking hate Kawhi? Like,
he took Paul George.
Like, bruh, I don't, bruh, in your own building. Y'all gonna both be in Staples Center.
And here's what's crazy is that
it's like fucking Game of Thrones, bro. I don't know what the fuck, bro. This shit lit.
And also, I like how the narrative is changing a lot. I love how the narrative changes now because what Paul George also did was somewhat validate Kevin Durant's move.
Yeah.
Paul George literally said, "I'm coming back." He could have went to the Lakers last year.
Yep.
Teamed up with Braun. Would have been there waiting for AD. Could have had a big 3 right now. Probably would have made the playoffs last year. You know what I mean? But
he ain't want that.
He said, I had unfinished business with my bro.
Yeah,
I can't leave my bro. Rusty, come on. We got unfinished business. You know what the unfinished business was?
Signing with Kawhi.
To me, the unfinished business was, we had that bum ass dude Melo on our team. That's why we didn't make the first round.
Right.
So we got that scapegoat. We thought he was gonna be something big. He was something small. But then once it came down to, you lost again in the first round by yourself, like,
nah, man, that's like, this don't feel good. It's like, this ain't what I'm used to doing.
Like, exactly, and I think that's what's happening now when players are now having more freedom over where they move. I think every player always have this gut feeling when they reach a certain age and a certain year in the league where they have this gut feeling of like, ooh, I don't know how many years they got left to do, like, to be this great. Like, they could feel their window closing. But back in the days, you literally had no way of leveraging the trade like that. It was a lot less leveraging power because of the collective bargaining agreement. And even now, players are like, where do I go? Who do I got? Like, it's only for the elite that can team up. Like the mid tier dudes aren't, like the Kyle Kuzmas of the league aren't teaming like, yo bro, like yo Rozier, we should all, me, you, and Joe Ingles should team up and make a medium 3. You know, like, nobody's doing it.
Nah.
It's only the elite dudes because they can like make those moves happen.
Right.
They can see, and I feel like now players are listening to that gut feeling and be like, I'm not gonna have that.
Okay.
Instead of being like, you know what, yo, suck it up, bro. We're gonna break through this. we're gonna stay on this team. We're gonna work this shit out. They're like, you know what? I got options now. Because I don't think that players stayed solely out of loyalty. I think they stay out of circumstance.
And
I think they stayed out of like, yo, this team could offer me the most money. And back then, you wasn't getting big money. Now, like, there is no money. Somebody told me like money don't matter now.
it
Like,
don't, bro.
of course.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. But I'm like, it really don't, man, because like for one, the landscape is different. It's so much money to be made in other avenues, for one. And then
$200 million is like, you know what? Just to get a championship? Come on, like that's why AD giving up that $4 million. He's like, $4 million? My nigga, I got a percentage on the back on the profits for Space Jam 2, nigga.
right,
I'm good.
like,
Like,
I'm getting points, bro.
I'm getting points and I got a signing bonus, nigga.
Man, he not worried about that shit, man.
Yo,
I feel like Kawhi is probably the ultimate example because he's left a lot of money on the table.
a lot.
But I think having two finals MVPs on two different teams, I think he might figure out a way to make that up. You know, like I think there's something in LA that he can do. I think we might see I think we might see some Kawhi Leonard Microsoft Surface commercials. You know, you don't fucking know.
Oh yeah, oh no, we
Like,
are.
it's coming, bro. And the thing about his endorsement with Microsoft, it might be larger than any other one. Like, and I still want to know, like, how does that not count as, like, you know, salary implications? Like, that is a big ass loophole in there somehow. And like, I kind of want to wrap it up, kind of on this point, but you're right, man. It's like the movement and the freedom that these players are getting, that are starting to exercise, is resulting in a lot more. How you want to say it, but like, just I'm trying to think like how to put this shit, but it's bringing like more possibilities than you ever thought. And I want to key in on one thing you said. It's like the mid-tier guys, they no longer have to chase just the money because they know that there's more opportunities. Like, they know if they're looking to team up, they just need to find the epicenter. Like, before it was like, who's going to sign me for the most bread? Now it's like, who can I play with to get more national TV games? You know, I want to flex out here on some IG honeys. You know, like, I want to be seen. Like, I almost feel like NBA players might chase a little bit more clout than dollars when at the end of the day. Like, I can't say like, and then not to be in a negative thing, like they want the clout as in, I just want everybody to fucking like me, but because of the benefits of having a lot of clout.
You know what's crazy? There's actually proof to that because the Suns player who got arrested at Rolling Loud because he's trying to sneak into VIP to see Lil Wayne. It was like, bro, why don't you just? He said, "Do you know who I am?" Of course, they don't know who you are. You play for the Suns,
Right?
Like even Devin Booker could walk through New York City and he'll just walk by people. Like you know what I mean? You play for the Suns, bro. Like respect yourself, one yourself. And he tried to sneak in and evade the cops, and then he ran away and hit someone. Like, you're an NBA player. What are you doing?
You too tall for that shit. You can't hide. Nigga.
All for clout. You can see Lil Wayne another time, bro.
Straight
you
up.
You could probably pay Lil Wayne to perform for you in your house
at a private party.
Bro, you're gonna see Lil Wayne, but the clout. You want to get that grand video, yo, bro. We're rolling out, Lil Weezy. Bro, you worth millions of dollars. And I can't judge because even when I get money, I act the same way. And money means relatively like a little bit extra money than I would get. I still act the same way that I would, and I'm trying to work on that. But at the same time, I'm a firm believer and human limits. I do think that as your money expands, so do your problems. As Biggie once said, more money, more problems. But at the same time, there's certain limits where certain problems no longer become problems. And I think that if I get $8 million and I can't get into Rolling Loud with a purchase ticket, first of all, if I didn't purchase a VIP ticket, I didn't really care that much.
Right.
Like,
Straight up.
Bro, like, if I didn't beat little Bradley with mommy's credit card to all the VIP, not even that, I only gotta call nobody. I gotta call my agent, yo.
Right, go work that out for me,
bro. The agencies all work together. It's a small ass little community, man. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, I think that and a lot of other things, that this cloud thing is an actual business now.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. Remember what the old age thing was that these players don't care about their salaries because they get endorsements.
Yeah.
Well, if you get the right endorsement on your Instagram, you can get somewhere where $100,000, $300,000 for a post. You can probably get $1 million. I don't know what it's an NBA player, but I know that Kylie Jenner once got, or Kendall Jenner or Kylie, one of them once got $750,000 for a single Instagram post.
Yeah,
now
that shit is bananas, fam.
Now, before I screamed so loud at that news, because that is that is the sort of like, and I mean, it was any kind of post.
Yeah.
Showing the product. Like, it was under her discretion. She could have literally woke up, put, like, they probably were, actually, I don't know the details of the contract, so they probably had certain things where it has to be this. It has a picture that we post that they chose out. But at the same time, it's literally posting it. And I guess maybe it's me not really realizing the sort of advertising tool that this is, because what's the difference between this and the commercial? Like, I wouldn't have been as shocked if they said that, oh, you get $750,000 to be in this commercial. I would have been like, oh, okay, that's how. But then I'm a little bit like, but for a post, and I think it's because I can do the same thing. That's why it's like, and I think that it matters, because it's like, if I don't want to go too deep into that, but you can get big money on IG, so it's a place to get clout and a place to even use that clout to sustain your career as an NBA player. Like, Kyle Kuzma has one of his endorsement deals is with this boutique sneaker store called Dope. So he gets like all these cool, like, rare sneakers and everything like that. But it's like, have you ever seen a store for Dope? Have you ever seen a commercial for Dope?
Never.
Have you ever seen, like, anything? Did you know what Dope was before I told you?
Nah. Not at all.
But it's probably huge on IG. Huge on IG, social media. So it's like, this is now the new crop. Like, there's going to be, if IG gets big enough, because it's still not in the Facebook range, but Facebook doesn't have like the same cachet with advertisers, and so like influencer branding.
I'm like, it's the business model, because Instagram is very limited on the way you are able to orientate content.
Gotcha.
And because there's much more, it's much more visual, and it does not rely on you being able to read. So the thing about that is, like, Instagram is like, they're going after people who are looking at stuff. Facebook is going after people who read things. And there's a lot more money moving around the people who read things. So I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Facebook is going to be banking over Instagram for a long time to come. It's just this new generation is all over.
Like, if Instagram ever gets to a place where it reaches the type of reach of a Facebook, I feel like, and also Facebook owns it, so it's not like
right.
It's still, and that helps out with. But I just feel like if it gets big enough and it sustains like this, it is, because people are saying that this whole influencer bubble is popping, because the reason why it's popping is because you can't just trust that if you get impressions. That there's no, like, I mean, there's certain metrics where you can do buy buttons and stuff like that, but there's no direct way to buy from Instagram. You can click a link and go, I think you can go to somebody else's website, and then they can buy from there, which is like, but there's no like easy Amazon Prime 2-day one button. Like, oh, I want to buy this for Fashion Nova that I just saw. One button, my credit card's there. Another button, boom.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So if it gets to that level where it's like that, then it becomes where it's like we might start seeing, and there might already be this for athletes, but we might one day see one of those Nike lifetime deals for an athlete on Instagram. I don't know if it's gonna be $1 billion, but we might start seeing like one of those.
Okay. I see what you're getting at, and that
especially for the guys who are like born into this, the people who are born into this. And I think one of the main things that I think we need to also look at this year is where is Lonzo Ball going for a sneaker, because he can leave BBB
right.
after
BBB.
all that bullshit that went down with his with the dude who it's a long story, but the guy who pretty much gave the idea of BBB to Lonzo Ball and to LeVar Ball was a criminal conman who went to jail before, didn't tell them, and had been slowly siphoning money or allegedly siphoning money from Lonzo Ball's account. And when Lonzo found out, he fired him and said that he was just blindsided by him. And I think they asked him, would he be okay if Lonzo went to, and think about this, Lonzo left, I think, tens of millions of dollars on the table for a Nike deal to do this bullshit BBB, which he could have, like, I mean, honestly, if you say Nike is like, you can't wear nothing else. I don't care what your daddy has.
Right.
So you gotta make a choice, either Nike or us. But so I get it, you're torn, but at the same time, it's like,
yeah.
If it's, and I don't know what the inside is, but if all it is that your dad says, yo, let's do this. And again, he's a teenager at this time, I think. He's like 19, maybe 20.
I mean, he's like, he don't know no better.
Yeah, and he's thinking like, yo, all these, and also he's gonna be in line. Like, also Lonzo Ball. This is the great thing about a rookie, is that a rookie has, I think, two of his big. If you're a superstar rookie, like a Ben Simmons, or perfect example, Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid, you have two big days. The day you join the NBA, and the day when after you've had 2 or 3 standout rookie of the year, almost MVP level season, you in your first 2 or 3 years, with however long your rookie contract is, you have now you're going to get a max contract. So then you go from making $5-6 million a year to literally you make 6 times that much for the next 5 years, and then you get more. Like Ben Simmons, I don't know the exact contract, and I could pull it up, but he was making a rookie deal,
right?
And then he outperformed all of that, and now they just gave him an extension for $37 million, $40 million a year in 2019, and he just started 2 years ago. Didn't he just win rookie of the year? He just won rookie of the year 2 years ago, but he's been signed for 3 years. And they already gave him 40 some crazy number for 4 years. Same thing with Embiid, gave him some crazy number. If you outperform, that's why dudes like Mitchell want to outperform. They're in their second year. This is a big year. This is his third year actually. Last year was his second year. This is his third year. This is a big year. This is for sure.
5 years, 168. That's another clutch client. Rich Paul out there getting it done. Getting it
$33 million
done.
a year,
nigga. Woo, buddy, that's gonna be a guy.
And don't think that there's not a future where Ben Simmons and AD aren't partners. Just saying.
Oh, I could totally see that, man. I mean, it could be the Los Angeles Clutches. It could happen. You dig? I see it all in this. It's all in the works, man.
Yo, nobody's benefiting more for being a clutch client than one guy, KCP. Oh, yeah. This man is getting the life. First of all, he was a condition.
Yes, that's a great point.
Yo, when I found out that he was a condition to LeBron coming to the Lakers, but we also got his homeboy too. LeBron gonna come to the club, but my homeboy too, right? All right, he cool. all right, whatever, man. That's cool. Yeah, he's cool too, man. That's what it was. And then they brought him back now, I think, because they had nothing else left. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not the player you. The Lakers just overplayed. They got played, and they didn't have a plan B.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. They waited too long. They let Kawhi dictate, and that's what happens when you have players who now have some power. You let Kawhi dictate the terms of everything. And Henley, maybe he does, because you have to be like. But then again, you can also say that, all right, Kawhi, if we don't hear you back by now, we're going to move on to somebody else.
Right.
Because we're not trying to stay here past this day, because we're getting rumblings that Kyrie wants to leave. We're getting rumblings that KD's unhappy. KD was unhappy. If KD's willing to go to the Nets, who knows what he's willing? KD might have said, "Yo, bro, I'll join the Lakers. Y'all got a max spot? Yeah, we do. Right for you, partner. All right, me, Braun, AD. I already got my 2 rings without Braun. Braun got his rings without me. You know what I mean? Against Braun too. So you can't even say I'm riding the coattails.
Yeah, man.
I busted niggas' ass multiple times.
This, man, and just to wrap it up with this part, it's been crazy just to see how all of this stuff has shaken out. You know, there's a few concerns for me going forward, like what you just said, just how some of this stuff is gonna work out in the end. I just hope it don't blow up in nobody's face, like some of the shit like Rich Paul be doing.
Can I ask you one question?
What's up?
One question, and I want to ask you before and this is a great a way we can sign off. I don't want to hold you so long
because I know you got to go soon.
What? Just once? No, it's all good. One. Give me the team that after they made these moves is going to surprise people the most in a good way, and name me a team that made these moves that you think is going to surprise people in a negative way.
See, it's hard to, like, all the major movement is gonna make it hard for anybody to come a look surprising. But like, I guess
give me your gut feeling. I know you've seen certain moves and you've been like, and some of your gut, maybe you didn't explore it, but some of your gut was like, that might not work out. You know what I mean? Or ooh, that's a good move. Like this.
Well, I say this, like, as far as like sneaky impact, Patrick Beverley coming back to the Clippers and basically making that like the all defensive team on one squad. I think it's going to be surprisingly how bad people perform against the Clippers. I'm gonna put that is like you gonna think like it's gonna be a regular game, but like, nah, bro, y'all gonna shoot like 40% tonight. You know,
they gonna start them 3 niggas too. Like they gonna start them 3.
It's gonna be trouble out the gate
from the tip off. You are gonna have Pat Beverley on your ass, like, and then now you can't hide Steph no more. Will you hide him on Paul George? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You sure about that? You sure about that? I don't know about that. You got to hide him on, like, you know, I don't know, man. It's gonna be work. It's gonna be tough work for this man. But okay, so how about the one that you think is gonna be not so positive?
Oh man, I hate to say this. I hate to say it. But, bruh, I'm gonna have to go with the Lakers, bruh. Like, I'm not feeling the rest of the squad, man. Like, I feel like it's gonna look good on the highlights, but I'm still really concerned. You know, my kids brought out my Kobe Bryant Lakers jersey. They've been wearing it around the house. That shit like a 2X. I bought that shit in like 06. So it's a number 8 on top of that. Like, this some vintage ass shit.
Okay.
And
Kobe,
you know, I was like, damn, bro. Like, I remember being a fan. Like, and feel like being a fan again. And then I looked at the rest of the roster, and I was like, I don't know if I can be a fan again. Like, it's just, it don't feel good as it should.
You don't believe in Kuzma?
I mean, Kuzma's great, man, but, bro, there's no fucking depth on this squad, man. Like, that shit is important. I mean, bro, we already seen he can't jump over a phone book now. like, dog, I don't feel good about that shit at all.
Oh my
And you
God.
just got me a total fan mode right there when I said that shit. I could feel it coming out.
I can feel it. You like, you know what? I think you're gonna change your mind after. I really think, and this kind of goes to my picks, and I'll just end it right there. I'm not gonna say the Lakers. I'm not gonna say the Lakers.
Okay, who you got? Somebody that's gonna surprise in a bad way.
What I'm gonna say is going to be the in a bad way. Ooh, I think it's going to be. I hate to say it, man. I think it might be the Heat. I don't think I like James Butler unless they get Westbrook.
Yeah.
Unless they get Westbrook, that's just a big contract. That's just nothing against James Butler, nothing at all. But James Butler by himself ain't getting you to the playoffs. I don't know. Not with that squad. I don't know. The East is good.
They're not gonna be able to do that in the East. They're going to need Westbrook to get over the hump, but I kind of feel where you're going with that. I'm not too hopeful about the Heat either.
But who I am very hopeful about, and who I think is going to have the biggest impact that nobody's talking about, and who I have coming out the East, is a team with the best starting five in the NBA right now. If one time don't work, and then two times don't work, three times gonna work on that ass. The Philadelphia 76ers are going to the NBA Finals. That solidifying with getting Al Horford and keeping Tobias, even though I think Tobias Harris is a little bit of a playoff fraud.
Yeah,
in the big moments,
he's got that stitch on him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, because my thing is like I'm not trying to say he's a bad player, and you have to nitpick when it comes to making it to the finals. Because everybody at that level, everybody's great. You can't just say he's a great player. So what? So is this guy. But this guy scored 29. You scored 24, and guess what? You lost by 3. That's how it comes down. Sometimes it comes down to that.
Yeah,
it comes down to those moves. And when you're missing these open corner threes, and you guys lose to a tip in the last seconds, and you miss the open corner threes, it's gotta hurt. And if it doesn't, something wrong with you. So I'm still iffy on the guy, but he's still a great talent. And then they just made the most domineering big man duo since Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like
and on the Pelicans, this is like I can't think of a two-man inside game that defensively is so stout as these two guys. Maybe like in a while, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
it's gonna be interesting to watch Philly this year. Like you said, I'm like, bruh, this whole NBA season, because you got like Philly, Boston, Milwaukee. You know, like what the Heat is gonna be. You know what Toronto gonna be able to do coming back, and you got the West. You know, like what's gonna happen to Golden State. You know, the Lakers or the Clippers going to be what we think they're going to be. Where does Denver fit in? What does Dame and the Portland Trailblazers have to say about what's going on? You know, is Dallas going to come around? You know, Sacramento, is some of the young guys going to come around? I mean, it's so much to look forward to this coming up NBA season. I think there might be a record number of NBA league passes bought this year. Because I'm going to be one. I'm just gonna,
wide open.
I'm all over that shit. I'm getting league pass. Fuck all the other shit. Like, I let so many years go by where I wanted to have this shit and could not afford it. I'm going to figure out a way so I can make enough money to pay my bills and feel good that I just spent $300 on basketball. I'm not going to hesitate.
It's so wide open right now that there's going to be games that you would have never even. A November game between the Miami Heat and the Miami Heat.
I mean, shit, it could be the fucking Hawks.
And the Pelicans.
Oh, the Pelicans.
Yeah, here we go. A November game between the Miami Heat and the Pelicans is literally one Westbrook move away from being must-watch TV. I don't think a Heat Pelicans game has been that big since the big three, the Heat was, and I don't even think it was even in.
It wasn't. You absolutely right, man. That's a great point. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of matchups every night.
And then also you got the new crown, the new guys who have stayed the course. The Bucks, who used to be like 3 years ago, nobody cared about the Bucks. The Bucks wasn't much watch TV. Now you have to watch Giannis and the Bucks. You have, and they kept, and it's been that way for the last two years, but they kept it. They didn't fall off and be like a one hit or a 2-year wonder where like they had a run. Now it just seems like it's a system. Like Giannis just seems like that player who get him shooters, get him players, and he'll get you exciting, winning basketball. The Sixers, after years, like we're going into a new decade, way different than we started this decade. This decade started with the Lakers dominating, the Celtics still making moves. The Warriors being like who? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like just so many. The only team that is still remotely where it was then that it is now might be the Nuggets.
Right. They just like being consistently in the middle of the mix.
In the middle of the mix, but still doing enough good shit. Because that was before we got. That was like.
And the Spurs too. The Spurs been around. They ain't really faded out.
No. Because the Spurs. The thing about it, the Spurs are way better than they are now. I don't think. My hot take. I don't think the Spurs make the playoffs.
I said that shit earlier. Somebody said I was crazy, but
nope.
Jazz, I'm talking to you, man.
This is the Western Conference is the most stacked Western Conference. I know it's every year, but it's true now. With Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, yes, you take away the Thunder, but then you add you don't just add another playoff team. You add another elite team. That's the thing. You take away a fringe playoff team that loses in the first round, and you add an elite team. That adds more than it takes away. So now you have. I mean, the Warriors are still the Warriors. Maybe you don't call them. I'm gonna give them the respect until they show me they're not elite. So I'm still gonna put them up there. Like it's still Warriors, Rockets, Nuggets. Almost. I think the Nuggets are gonna show if they can be considered an elite team. But I think right now they are. Nuggets, Lakers could be something. Clippers, like you got at least 5 or 6.
Yeah,
there's a good chance you can have. You can have You can have 8 straight teams. The top 8 could legitimately in the West contend for a championship. Think about that.
Yeah,
Blazers, the Jazz and the Nuggets are so good. People are saying that, and the Jazz made moves. They got Bogdanovich in that bitch. The Jazz made moves. I don't think I've ever seen somebody say a 7 seed had a shot. You might be able to say that now. You might be able to say a 7 seed. That 7 seed got a shot.
So we looking at the NBA basically turning into the NHL next year.
Yo,
straight up.
Shit.
That's pretty much what we got.
I don't watch the NHL, but I guess
it's a thing, man. Like they routinely have 7 and 8 seeds going to the finals. Like it's not a fucking aberration. Like it happens. But I already know you running short on time, man. And I've been locking down the room for a minute, and it's time for me to get up. So I know we were supposed to talk about Dreamville and stuff, man. We're gonna have to figure out some time to try to squeeze that in sometime this week, man. Because we got some thoughts that we wanted to share with y'all about that whole situation.
You know what? And I'm gonna figure it out because I got something coming out. It's either gonna already be out. It'll probably already be out by the time. So there's a piece that I dropped that it's gonna be pretty dope. There's a couple of stories in there that.
Don't give it away, man. Just let it wait. Just let it wait.
I'm gonna let it wait. I mean, you know who? Did you know what? Well, let's keep that between.
Gotta know that, man. Gotta know that. All right, Keith, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast once again, man.
All right. Y'all be good, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. See y'all. Stay up.
All right. Take it easy, man. All right, that was Keith Nelson Jr. coming on the Rundown South podcast. Once again, run down all these NBA topics I done had sitting on my desk for the last 2 weeks. So I appreciate him. Y'all can follow him at Just Air on Twitter, Instagram, all that. You can follow the show at The Rundown South. That's DA Rundown South on every platform, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. You can follow me at CL The Main Event, same thing. And if you got any questions, comments, you want to get featured on the show, advertising inquiries, send them over to cl@therundown.com, and I will definitely get back with you and make something happen. So once again, I appreciate everybody out there taking a little bit of time out your day to listen to this podcast, and you made it all the way to the end. So you a real one. And I'm out here. Peace. This is the